Now, let me clarify really quick. When I said next episode, I meant in this episode. Not quite yet, though. First we're doing Volt Catfish.
Fish.
Yeah. And so basically with that, I don't think this is every X3 boss, but most of the X3 bosses are already done. But yeah, so fuck this fucking stage. This is probably my least favorite stage in this game. A lot of the little thunderball things, and then like the narrowness of the halls, and the bats and the fucking cannons, and you're just like, fuck everything! Like, I hate navigating through here.
I can't help but feel as though those lightning balls should be in those tubes.
You would think that, but that is not how they work, and this I'm just trying to farm shit. So I guess while I'm progressing, first of all, this is all very much Toxic Seahorse.
Yeah.
I've gone through so many notes and stuff lately that I keep thinking like the Japanese names and other bosses and shit at the same time. But yeah, Toxic Seahorse. With some obvious minor differences. They don't have the little helicopter lightning bolt
things.
Like gyroscope things or anything like that. And as Brady so helpfully pointed out, there are electrical weapons everywhere. So that's why it's an electric-themed stage. But yeah, this stage gets really, really diabolical. Really, really frequently.
The hell are those spinning blue things?
They're like just saw blade enemies.
I don't remember them from any of the actual X.
They're very... Okay, so in X3, you see them on top of Gravity Beetle's airship thing. Like this. Just this fucking goddamn hole. I hate this level. I'm glad that I get it out of the way pretty early. But yeah, so the replacement for the spike wheels from X1 in the intro stage is... They're just very disc-like, and then when you damage them or they like get close enough to you, they'll like extend out into a bunch of swords. It's just usually in my playthroughs I kill them too quickly for you to notice that.
Oh man, flickering.
Game Boy Power!
Dr. Light Jesus!
Yeah, so we've got our first light capsule that we're actually collecting. And truth be told, I do not fucking remember what this is off the top of my head, because I've only played through this game like twice.
Legs.
Cool. I'm glad we're getting that out of the way too. So in Extreme 1, the leg upgrade is you can dash off of walls now, which was just really poorly set up and wasn't helpful. In this one, you get the air dash and the upward air dash, so it's the boots from X3. What makes them really nice is that rather than having to hit the dash button, since there's still only 2 Game Boy buttons, it's a double jump. So when you are in the air, you just hit it again to do the air dash, and it's fucking amazing, and I wish all of them worked like that, because it is genuinely great. And then you just hold up if you want to do the upward air dash, which I don't use very often, I don't think, but there it is. Thanks, past me. But
yeah. Is it more responsive than it was in X3?
Actually, surprisingly, yes, it really is. And I think that's mostly just because, again, this is after X4,
right.
And a whole bunch of other Game Boy games with, like, intentionally simplified controls, so it doesn't surprise me that that's the case.
Oh, God, that water overlay.
Yeah, the water overlay there is going to become much more of an issue later in this level. Because right there, all that water will do is push you all the way back to the start. It can land you in spikes and can damage you because of stuff, but that's not a big deal on its own. What sucks now is the fact that that water, it has a yellow frame in there too. It's electrified and will instantly kill you.
Okay.
The tonal, or the difference in gameplay mechanics there is so quick and staggering that I cannot tell you how many times I've died on this level, and that makes getting this heart tank a bitch. I don't remember if I die here. But,
is that flickering on, like, every version of the game?
As far as I'm aware, I think it's mostly just because it can't do transparency. I fucked that up. I would have died if I went to get it, which you keep power-ups if you die, just like in all of them, but it's just like, I really don't want to keep doing this, so you just fucking go for it. I might die. I die! Ah! Great! Thanks, past me. Thanks for demonstrating that point I was just making. But yeah, so that's a thing, and that happens a lot in this level. Like, that is basically now the stage gimmick. I don't know why it wasn't those neat power converter things, but unfortunately, the one stage that we get that is 99% original content is mostly garbage.
Oh, God.
It's alright. It's actually not too bad. I basically practiced entirely because of this level and some of the boss fights later on. So, all good.
I was about to say that flowing water in the background looks good, but doesn't.
Well,
hide
also-
on the screen.
Yeah. Also, remember that this is the
Game
Game Boy,
Boy.
so it's like,
I know.
there's a lot of stuff that slides, and honestly, like, I've seen some real bad Game Boy games, so it's like, this is honestly a really, really well put together, really good looking game, in my opinion. Especially with the amount of content you get in it. There's something that I'll cover a little bit later.
That one looks a little better.
A lot later, I guess. But, it has some cool bonus stuff that, extends your playtime quite a bit. And that's not even counting the fact that you can fight the bosses in all kinds of different ways.
Oh, hey,
because of Switching Zero.
okay.
I don't remember why I did that. I think I might have been showing off the fact that you can. Yeah. So, we got our next boss fight.
Oh, wow, that looks a lot less useful.
It's not overly bad.
You just have to get so close to
Yeah,
him.
it's not overly great. So the cool thing about how Ray Claw works in this is that once you activate it, it doesn't like go away too quick like Slash Claw does that in Mega Man 7. It's like you basically just go like, eh, and it's only on the screen for a second. When you activate Ray Claw on this, it's that crescent, and it just lasts until like, I think like maybe even like 10 seconds or until it hits something. Like, it's up for a while, and it doesn't continuously use ammunition as it's up. So it's like, alright, you know what, it's basically a ramming attack. It's not practical, but at least it's not stupid either. And I like this version of this weapon a lot more than it is in X3. Yeah. Just by virtue of, like, finally a cool electric weapon that isn't just dumb. Alright, so we beat our traditional 2 bosses,
Yeah.
and now we're getting a plot done. So now we've got Burkana, who's kind of like the mastermind. She's basically like, I'm the brains and you're the muscle, except they're both kind of in on the plan, and like, he's a little smarter and she's kind of dumb about stuff. Like, neither of them are really practical in any way.
So they're both idiots.
Well, that's the thing, is like, they're both idiots, and they're also both not. Like, they make really good calls and really bad calls. Like, right now, Garrett's like, we should probably kill them before they get too strong. And she's like, no, this is pretty hot. I want to keep watching this. And then later on, they're like, we probably shouldn't let them fight as a team. Let's split them up. And she's like, yeah, let's do that. Everybody split off. It's like, I can't get a read on you. Like, are you good tacticians, or are you just really stupid and lucky? Like, I don't understand at all here. But goddammit if I don't love their designs. You don't really get a good feel for Burkana's look, but I mean, obviously, you can see them both pretty well here. But yeah, so we got, now there's like a Great Sword Knight, a Lance Knight, a Rogue, and a Witch.
So, Garrett said he only erases the souls of evil Mavericks.
Yes.
Why are we fighting Mavericks that are explicitly the guardians of his island?
Well, you could basically argue that, you could argue it in a bunch of ways. I think mostly they're just assholes and are lying to you.
Okay.
But, you could also argue that it's like, no, you guys are actually bad guys, and even though these guys are, like, defending your island, you're all still just kind of, like, fucking whacked out, so let's not do that. Especially considering that they're probably, like, zombie robots, because it's all bosses you already fought before that might have been resurrected from their DNA days, so it's like, don't do that! Just, don't do that. For any reason.
Look, I'm used to my video game villains always telling me the abject truth in all interactions. Like, when they say something, for leaving.
Well, in this instance, then they wouldn't be villains, would they? I like, see that! It's like, well, one of the Guardians might kill him, which technically isn't wrong, but then he's like, that's really stupid, but alright, I guess. And then they just, like, go on being idiots. I like these two, though. Like, I really like the Game Boy villains. I genuinely wish they were, like, translated properly and shit. Just, it's fun. Like, they're fun. They're just interesting to me. It's the same reason why I really like Gate in X6, which obviously we'll talk more about in X6, but it's just like, I like it when it's not just Sigma. It's more interesting to me, just because you get to do more different
So when
plots.
does Sigma show up?
Don't even worry about it. Actually, this one does something cool with him. Which, spoilers, Sigma's in this fucking game, but obviously. Oh, here's the power-ups. I don't know if I get anything just yet or not. But basically, all these power-ups stack. Mm-hmm. You can only equip a certain amount of them or activate a certain amount of them at a time and shit like that. It's, again, very similar to how it works in X6. But the trick to what I'm doing in this run is, like I said earlier, I'm not getting the helmet, I'm not getting the full armor, because without doing that, you get a certain chain of power-ups that is ludicrously more strong than the actual full armor ever is. And that'll just break the game immediately. It depends on, like, collecting a certain number of souls and, like, not getting the helmet for some reason. I'm gonna look that up after this video so that I can give a good read on that in the actual informative Let's Play. But, oh hey, look, it's Launch Octopus's stage.
And we're...
Thanks for delaying their alternate dimension me. Oh, so...
I thought it was a bit and just jumped to your death.
Yeah, that's actually it. I was talking more about split pathing. Mm-hmm. This is dumb, and I really like it, because we're fighting this guy now.
Oh, Jesus, it's already dead?
It's already dead. Going up that other way, there's, like, spikes and shit to jump over, and, like, platforming and stuff, and there's no benefit to doing either route over the other outside of the fact that that one's just way easier. And I guess that's kind of just there to be like, oh hey, it's a path that you risked your health to find, and so here it's a little bit easier. Or like, here's the secret boss. Which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
They have branching paths, they don't use them super well, but they're present, and I think that's neat, so that's what I was delaying up there for, is there's an alternate path. And this stage in particular is really bad about like what is and isn't going to be a bottomless pit. I think there was a Mario Maker tutorial or something that I was looking through that was like, you shouldn't ever have something go below the camera because your player's instinctively going to think it's a bottomless pit and not go that way. And so, like, this stage is just, like, an example of, like, that's very true, because I keep being, like, careful, like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. And also, luckily, we get a Cruisillar, so we're not down these wonderful whaleboats in glorious 8-bit.
It's actually paddling. I don't remember doing that in the original.
I think it does.
Oh, and it doesn't crash in this.
Do you think the Game Boy can handle a crash?
No, not in the least.
So, unfortunately, we don't have Storm Tornado to do awful things to Udaboros, but...
He's so small this time.
I know, it's adorable! I love this version of him. I want a pillow of it. But, yeah, no. So, this one, unfortunately, will take a little bit longer. You can kind of cheese this fight by just going over here, so if you jump onto that platform to turn him around a little bit initially and lead him into this pattern, he'll just kind of, like, stay parallel with you the whole time, and you can just hit him, and he'll never actually get close to you, because he can't go that close to the wall and turn around for whatever reason. So you can basically just do this, and it's really easy. It's a little boring, but it's easy. Unfortunately, the bigger drops are down there. I really like the fact that the Nightmare, or DNA Souls heal you in this one, because they don't do that in X6. They're important in X6, but they don't heal you. And we get
Dr.
the body armor? Yeah!
Dr. Kane's not in this one, is he?
No, because you're on Super Nightmare Island.
I have an incredible feeling of sadness.
But he is safe away from the zombie ghost robots being adorable elsewhere in the Game Boy universe. Now, so this one has the Giga Crush in it, which is nice because
Is it actually useful in this game?
I don't remember. There's always one boss that it does something terrible to, and it does work in this, and you will see it in this playthrough. It's more just I don't think it really comes into play anywhere else. But that's just the Giga Crush. That's just how it always is. And these guys are back. Who are animated pretty well for little Game Boy fish. Which I'm a fan of that. It feels really weird not fighting in the Storm Tornado, though. Just, like, thinking of that.
Yeah. God, there's a lot of fish. And why?
Don't even worry about it.
That's a terrible jump.
So that one is particularly perilous. Here's your pro tip for this stage, outside of the alternating pathing, I guess, is you want to approach that one cautiously, because if the piranha does eat you while you're over those spikes, you're almost guaranteed to get dropped directly into those spikes, because you won't be able to turn sharply enough.
Right.
And you might be able to get over it with the air dash, depending on how that ends up working. You might be able to steer out of it. But really what you want to do is inch up as close to them as you can safely. Don't go too far because I really don't know what the hit detection is on him. It might be shitty. And then you want to dash immediately towards it so that it will eat you, because it sucking you in will help you clear the gap safely, and it'll stay stationary away from the spikes, as opposed to moving out to meet you in the middle. So, just get yourself eaten. There's your strategy, is just get eaten by a piranha, and then you'll be safe. As quickly as you can. Don't even hesitate.
Son of a bitch. Alright.
I don't think you're supposed to do it that way, really. Like, I doubt that was their intention, but it does work. Also, I'm going to do horrible things to him, at least later on. So one hit from Rayclaw immediately takes the claws off, or tentacles off. While he's in this long animation, he can still be damaged. There's no grace and vulnerability there. It's the normal hit frame setup. So you can do, like, half a bar of damage with literally zero opposition at that point. So when I get the game-breaking thing and the refights happen, he's like just the quickest boss in the series.
These tentacles are back.
Yeah. Just for the death spray. But yeah, that's the thing that happened. There was Launch Octopus. Do you remember how long it took me to button mash through him on the Super Nintendo one?
Too long?
Yes. There's your karmic balance.
Okay.
Also, his weapon is Storm Eagle's Charge Shot now. Because remember, he spins. Didn't get to this time, but he does that.
Alright.
It's actually...
Gets great.
Yeah, it's also a really surprisingly useful weapon.